Okay, so now we have the mindset. I want to give you some ways of conveying energy on camera. However, before we get into these, it's important to note if you focus too much on these individually, then it can have an inverse effect and make you very stiff and robotic. So the first thing I want to talk about is vocal inflection and tone. So having control over this will allow you to dial up your energy and then dial it back down, allowing you to have this type of dynamic voice. So having a dynamic voice allows you to become more interesting and you can be way more expressive using just your voice. Okay, so you might not want to do anything else. You might not want to use hand gestures. You might not want to move your body. You might not even want to talk louder. But if you just start creating a dynamic voice, you might just find that it can be a great thing to practice, especially if you're monotone. The next thing is gestures and body language. So one of the ways to have more natural energy is gestures. We can literally talk through our hands. And what you'll tend to find is a lot of keynote speakers use a lot of hand gestures. Again, the key thing here is not to think what your hands are doing. So yeah, just be expressive. And body language, you can, for example, emphasize a point if you was to lean more into the camera and start to make a point. An example of this is, let's say you're creating an ad for a physical product, right? Actually putting the product right up to the lens is a great way to convey energy rather than just leaning back and coming across lazy as fuck. Next, facial expressions. If you are smiling and not smiling with your mouth all the time, but smiling with your eyes, you essentially create this welcoming, warm, resting facial expression versus kind of just having this blank stare on your face. And the final thing is intensity. And intensity is not being loud. It's more of a oomph in what you're saying. And it's kind of like the body parts tensing up, forcing the words out, and can definitely make you feel more energy. So going forward in today's practical exercises, we will be focusing on these. And just to reaffirm, the goal is not to focus on these individually, but just allow you to have awareness and let it happen naturally.